This is a product video for Oracal's Oracal 8300 and 8510 specialty window films. On the outside of the box is valuable product information that includes roll size, color, and product number. To preserve the label, a good tip is to open the non-label side to pull the roll out. Note, the lot number can also be found on the plastic sleeve and on the liner. Be sure to record this for administrative purposes. Save the liner and box to store excess material. When possible, take precise measurements before the day of install and cut the panels to size at the wrap shop. If this is not possible, be sure to section the rolls on a clean surface so the edges don't get contaminated. Note that for 8510, it can be printed on for added visual effects. If plotting the 8510 or 8300, check the blade depth to ensure a smooth liner release, which is critical for timely installs. For plotting and weeding, the process for both films is standard, and using a pen, knife, or tweezers to weed is up to the production department. For panels that have cutouts, be sure to use Oratape pre-mask. For 8510, use HT55 and NT95. If putting pre-mask on 8300, use these Oratapes. At the install location, when possible, lay the panels flat and include a printed layout. For panels with cutouts, a good tip is to squeegee the liner side to help with a clean liner release during the install. For 8300 and 8510, they are both wet installs, so it's critical to get the right glide solution. The glide solution should be made up of a combination of soap, isopropyl alcohol, and a pressurized sprayer. Make sure the pressurized sprayer is clean before making the glide solution. Fill the sprayer with exactly 48 ounces of water, preferably distilled. Add 4 drops of either baby shampoo or softener-free dishwashing soap. Then add 3 tablespoons of 91% isopropyl alcohol. Keep in mind, this mix is for install temperatures below 75 degrees Fahrenheit. For summertime temperatures, use 6 drops of soap and 2 tablespoons of isopropyl alcohol. Once all the ingredients are in, be sure to shake the glide solution thoroughly to get a proper mix. To prep the install area, the first step is to spray the window completely, then scrape any specks of dirt off the glass. This can be done with a metal scraper, plastic sponge, or steel wool. Put extra focus on the edges that have silicone molding, as they can often be uneven and hold extra dirt. Next, spray the glass again and wipe down the area with a window sponge, then go back over the area with a window squeegee. It's best to avoid using paper or microfiber towels. And it's always a good idea to clean both sides of the glass for a focused install. With the glass prepped, it's important to check alignment, left to right and top to bottom. In this case, magnets are used with gecko patches to hold the panel in place. Mark any registration marks if necessary, then spray the window again with the glide solution and be sure to get 100% coverage on the glass. Place the face side of the panel on the glass and the moisture should hold the panel in place. A good tip is to wet the fingers before removing the liner to avoid fingerprints on the adhesive, and spray the adhesive with the glide solution as the liner is being released to ensure that the adhesive doesn't fold on itself dry to dry. To avoid the liner getting overly wet, remove it entirely at one time, and with the liner removed, go over the adhesive side with the glide solution to get 100% coverage. Wet the fingers one more time, then flip the panel in a steady motion so the adhesive side is now touching the glass. Always take time to double check the alignment to ensure quality, and then the panel can be applied. If the panel doesn't have pre-mask, do not use a squeegee as this can scratch the face of the film. Instead, for non-pre-mask sections, use a hard rubber or acrylic 4-inch roller. This safely and effectively installs the film without bubbles or scratches. For areas that do have pre-mask, the hard side of the squeegee can be used, and be sure that it is nick-free to get 100% coverage. Make sure the edges are tucked in tight, and once the entire area has been applied, go over it one more time with a roller and or squeegee to make sure it's 100% on the surface. If there are multiple panels being installed, continue on to the next one before cutting or releasing the pre-mask. And for corners within frames, a good tip is to use a finger to form them in first, as this will help the film from bunching and or wrinkling. With all the panels installed, wait 5 to 10 minutes before cutting to ensure that the adhesive is secure to the glass. For corners, make a relief cut to remove any tension, then use a squeegee knife cutting technique to get a clean cut and leave a slight gap on the edge. To safely remove the pre-mask, thoroughly wet it one more time and spread it out evenly with a hand. The wet pre-mask should be then pulled as close to a 180-degree angle as possible, which will help the 8510 or 8300 stay put on the glass. The pre-mask should always be pulled to go with the direction of the cutout shapes to help with the safe release. For panels that will be installed in one long horizontal section, set height markers or use a laser level. Spray the install area on the glass with the glide solution and, if applying one long panel, use 2 installers. This helps avoid potential wrinkles or the panel dropping to the floor. With the adhesive side wet and the liner fully released, flip the panel over and place it in position. And a good tip is to sell the job based on the roll sizes the Oracal 8510 and 8300 come in, so nothing has to be done in production. Always be sure to double check if the panel is level, then simply roll the panel onto the glass in overlapping strokes. Remove any excess moisture at the top of the panel to keep it from going back under the film, and it's common for a silicone layer to be placed in between the gaps on glass panels. This can cause the film to bridge over the gap. Using a very short blade, cut the excess film over the gap exactly in half, and this makes for 0% tension on the edge, which allows the installer to simply roll the film on both sides, and then once the panel has been applied, be sure to wet the entire surface, then roll it one more time. Again, wait 5 to 10 minutes before cutting, and often this type of window has beveled edges, so be sure to make an angled in cut with a sharp blade that is extended only a half a click or 1 click. With the install complete, remove any soapy residue with a window squeegee, and be sure to wipe in horizontal strokes. This will prevent any edges from getting picked up during this process. If only one installer is on location, then, when possible, install the area in individual pieces. The same install protocol should be used. Spray the surface, place the panel with the liner side facing out, release the liner, make the adhesive side 100% wet, flip the panel over, place it in position, then simply roll in overlapping strokes. After an install, there may be several minor issues that come up, and here is how to resolve them. Some edges may have minor lifting. Use medium heat on a heat gun to warm and dry the film, then simply seal it to the surface with a squeegee or finger. For tiny bubbles, they often can be removed with a low, flat squeegee stroke. When possible, go to the back side of the glass and look for excessive moisture. For installs with frames, water often builds up on the edges and can simply be squeegeed out. For water trapped in the middle of a panel, if possible, use cutout areas to let the water escape. If the 8510 or 8300 gets minor wrinkles on it, they can often be self-healed by using light heat from a heat gun and a finger to form them flat on the glass. Using excessive heat may cause the wrinkle to get worse. When it comes time to remove the 8510 or 8300 from the glass, there are several options. One very effective way is to use steam. This can often help the film come off in one piece, along with all the adhesive coming off the glass. The panels can also be cut into smaller sections, and be sure to use a 58-degree stainless steel blade. Because it is a permanent adhesive on glass, the amount of adhesive left behind can vary. If using a heat gun or propane torch to remove the film, have the heat source face away from the section that is being removed. And make sure the temperature on the surface is between 90 and 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Note there is no guarantee by Oracal for breakage of glass. Another option is to remove the film by cutting it into 3-inch sections with a blade, then use a 4-inch metal scraper. Be sure to keep the blade angle low and flat. Keep in mind that the Oracal 8510 etch glass will be primarily used for privacy and decoration. The Oracal 8300 will be primarily used for decoration and branding. And note that 8510 and 8300 can be used together for a combination of both privacy and design.